Hello, good afternoon, welcome back to another laggy filled stream as we count down to the Game Week 16 deadline, which was 1:30 on a Monday. What the hell is going on? It would never usually be this early, but obviously with the quicker deadlines now, an hour and a half before rather than an hour, as well as all the games on TV. Things have changed a bit now. So 1:30 on a Monday, it's a bit weird. It's straight after Christmas, but we're going into it. I've got my transfers done. I ended up doing them last night. I don't know if I'm happy with them. I've got my captaincy locked in. I'm still building towards the bench boost, potentially. I don't know if I'm happy about that. No wild card. Calvert-Lewin staying, Grealish is staying. It's going to be a tricky one. There's going to be plenty of rotation this week as well. Super chats I'll try and get to as soon as possible, but I don't want to obviously get sidetracked of what I'm talking about. So just in case anyone puts one in, I don't answer it straight away. I will get to it. All right, I will get to it. I absolutely promise. Okay, I absolutely promise. So, will I just bring up my team? Internet is bad, pigs in blankets are gone. Yeah, that is Christmas. Pigs in blankets are gone. I still have like a million mince pies though. Not bad. And some custard too. Decent. So I'm looking forward to that later. And some beer. No videos tomorrow, I don't think. I think I'm going to have a day off. So there's going to be beer tonight so I can have a hangover tomorrow. Watkins 90 points haul inbound. Potentially. The thing I'm kind of most worried about is whether, not worried, but is Calvert-Lewin going to get a rest? And he's playing Man City as well. I'm tempted to bench him for Souček, but I might not. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. I'm trying to find out if anyone has the inside scoop on whether Calvert-Lewin's getting benched today or not. Don't think we're going to find out, unfortunately. I'll check back on that a little bit later. George, let's just quickly do the super chat and then we'll get into my team. De Bruyne to Son this week. I'll wait for next week. Also for the double game week bench with Struijk, Adams or Rodrigo Taylor. Or Rodrigo Taylor, surely. Struijk's not guaranteed to start, right? Depending on who's fit at the time. De Bruyne to Son this week. I don't think this week makes much of a difference. Next week I prefer it though when De Bruyne plays Chelsea. I think this week it's much of a muchness really. Depends if you need the money, I suppose. You don't fancy Souček against Southampton? Of course I do, but I also like Calvert-Lewin. But Man City's defence is so good. They're not going to have Rodriguez. They're not going to have Calvert-Lewin. It is a little bit of a worry. Jeez, it's not lagging. It's not just lagging. It's completely cutting out. I hate this. It was fine this morning. I've done 2 streams this morning, and they were both fine. The problem is all the kids are up now playing Fortnite. They're screwing up my internet. Why am I doing Kane over Vardy? I don't think Vardy's going to start this week, and Kane almost certainly will. Kane never gets rested. They've got the extra day to wait as well. They're not playing until Wednesday. So yeah, Kane and Vardy. I don't think Vardy plays this week. He probably will play. He'll probably come on. He could get points off the bench. But I don't think he starts. So that is why. This is my team. So I have made the transfer of... I've done the move I spoke about. De Bruyne and Watkins are gone. And Rafinha and Kane are in. And I'm not massively happy about Kane, but he is in. I'm definitely not captaining him. I'm definitely not captaining him this week. I might captain him against Leeds, but that's not guaranteed either. But I do think possibly he's better. I just don't know what to make of Spurs. I'm playing the fixtures. With Spurs. They could be rubbish. They might not be. But yeah, it's not people in my house. Don't worry. No one in my house is playing. They're all off the internet. Trust me. They were kicked off with instructions. But in general, yeah, people using the internet a bit more than they were this morning. And it's Christmas, so everyone's at home. And it's just happy days, isn't it? Happy days of more internet joy. Triple leads, very ballsy. But I mean, I already had double leads, didn't I? So all I've done is added Rafinha. I mean, I am building towards the double game week, of course. The Son Kane purple patch is over. I mean, it's literally been over for ages, but the fixtures are better now. Fulham Leeds, not bad, right? So I'm kind of happy with it. And also, Watkins, I quite like Watkins. I do. I think he's been unlucky, but Rafinha, West Brom, Spurs, double game week. I'm just going for the fixtures a bit. And I did say, I'm in two minds really, because I did say I didn't want to ignore Fulham and Leeds for Spurs while building towards a double, like I usually would. But now we've got here, it's like, well, do I actually need them? I guess in some ways, a lot of wildcarders might go without them both, in which case, maybe it's a bit of a differential now, but they're still so highly owned, it's not really a massive differential, I guess. But I'm keeping Grealish, I'm happy with that. I'm keeping Calvert-Lewin, I'm a little bit less happy with that, but it's the way it is. I'm probably going to start him. The problem is, if he gets benched against City, I expect him to come on. So that's tempting me to just play Souček from the start. But I expect I'm going to play Calvert-Lewin because I'm not going to get any info about whether he's going to be benched. And I don't think he will be. So who knows? With a quick turnaround, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, triple leads could hurt if it gets called off at any point, like the Villa game. Let me go through some of these super chats. Start 2, Rafinha, Che Adams, Ollie Watkins. The first 2, I think. Southampton are playing... no, who is Southampton playing? West Ham. Yeah, I'd bench Ollie Watkins. He could do something, but you got a pretty good team if you're having to bench one of them. Alfred, start Diaz against Everton away or Kyle Walker-Peters. Southampton against... I'd probably start Diaz, to be honest. Captain Salah or Kane. Boom, it's on screen. Cheers, Doy. Thanks very much. Bench one of Watkins, Adams and Alioski. I'd probably bench Alioski. It's a good fixture, though. Petter, thanks very much. Parajath, De Bruyne, Grealish out for Mane and El Ghazi. It's a little bit sideways, isn't it? If that's the best way to fund Mane, then maybe. If it's for a hit, I'm not sure I would do it, though. Stavros, Grealish and Calvert-Lewin out for Son and Wood. Again, yeah, I don't like getting rid of Grealish in particular. I think he's a good hold, but Son and Wood are probably better over the next few weeks for sure. For sure. Okay, what else we got? Would you bench Walcott or Jack Harris? I wouldn't want to bench anyone from Leeds playing West Brom if I could help it, to be honest. I know they did really well against Liverpool, but I still think it's a good fixture. I guess Walcott against West Ham, though, is probably going to be a bit more of an open game. Am I missing some news about the Leeds game? Don't think so. How many did Leeds score this week? Hopefully 4, probably, maybe just 1, I don't know. I'm just hoping that Watkins blanks against Chelsea and De Bruyne blanks, but I'm not. I don't know if I'm massively confident about that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh Jesus, a lot of people watching. Do I go 3 minutes between messages? That seems a bit harsh, doesn't it? Seems a little bit harsh. Samuel F, how's it going? Start Meslier or McCarthy. So Leeds. Oh, it's got to be Leeds, right? Yeah, Meslier I would start. Souček or target, I'd start Souček. Samuel, -4 De Bruyne to Son or -8 to get Kane. Now, I wouldn't take a -8 to get rid of De Bruyne. For what it's worth, for anyone that's got De Bruyne, I don't think he in any way is a must-sell this week. So -8 seems crazy to me. Toby, thank you. Cucci, De Bruyne and Calvert-Lewin to Vardy and Rashford, say a prayer. If you've already done it, fair enough, good luck. I think Vardy gets benched today. And Rashford's got that shoulder problem, so we'll have to wait and see on him. Agnic, thanks very much. Matthew, I have Robbo Trent and 13.8 million. Do I go Dallas, Taylor, Balbuena, Eiling, Taylor, Sufal, Dallas? Oh my God. Or no Liverpool double up. I wouldn't worry about Matip necessarily being out. Dallas, Taylor, Balbuena looks the best to me. Dallas, oh, okay, I see. So it's Ailing and... Yeah, I think Dallas and Balbuena is better than Ailing and Sufal, just about. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to do the super chats in parts, I think, because otherwise I'm just never going to stop reading them. I thought you said something about the Leeds game being like the Villa postponement. Oh, no. I was saying, just if that happened, I'd be stuck with 3 leads. I'm just saying, if that happened, if something like that happened, it's not going to happen. There's no rumours or anything. I'm just thinking, as a FPL manager, I'm doing what we do best, being pessimistic, basically. I don't know if Matip is definitely out. Let me have a look. I mean, I'd say will be, like 2 days later or 3 days later. So he's not in... He's not in the team. Basically, if you're worried about team news, I would check the team news tab on Fantasy Football Scout. Yeah, it doesn't say that Matip's definitely out, but it said it was not too good. So I don't think he's going to play. I'd be very surprised. He's not the most injury-free player anyway. But I still think Liverpool will be fine against Newcastle. Why Rafinha not click? I still don't know how to pronounce that. Rafinha's just got better numbers. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Salah looking pretty tired versus West Brom. I don't know if he looked tired. I just think the game was just... I just think the game was frustrating for him. He kept dropping deep, going wide to try and get onto the ball. I don't think he looked tired. I just think West Brom frustrated the hell out of him, and it worked. Basically. So I'm not too worried about Salah. But you never know. I mean, I'm not saying he's definitely the best captain, but he's the one I am going for. Hang on. Robert Trent. Calvert-Lewin to Martial or Mane? I think I would go De Bruyne to Mane probably instead of Martial over Calvert-Lewin. Gethin, how's it going? What do you think I should do with Chilwell? Keep him probably, especially if it works for the double. I don't think there's any... I mean, the only thing I'll say is, again, I mean, lots of players could be rotated this week, right? Lots could. So I could say it for pretty much everyone. But Chilwell and Reece James have got to be right up there with almost certainly going to get rotated because of their injury worries. So it depends if you've got cover for him. He's still got a double game, remember. Chris, Rashford likely to start? I don't know. I don't know. He had that shoulder injury, but he's had it for a while. So I got a feeling he probably will start, to be honest. But there is that just doubt in my mind if I had to bring him in. Calvert-Lewin or Adams to bench? Definitely Calvert-Lewin. Thank you very much for the good luck. James, De Bruyne, Wilson and Calvert-Lewin out for Son, Kane and Rodrigo Wood for a -4. For context, I'm free hitting. So you're getting rid of... Yeah, I quite like that for a -4. You're putting a lot of faith in Son and Kane, of course. I don't know what to make of Son and Kane. They're not scored more than 2 goals as a team since Game Week 5. So it's a little bit worrying, but overall I quite like that for a -4. Because Wilson and Calvert-Lewin are not expecting too many points from them this week. Fernandes captain instead of Salah. Not for me, but if you want to go for it, do it. I just think Newcastle are a really bad team. Wolves, you're just not sure what you're going to get. I still wouldn't expect Wolves to kind of get turned over like 3 or 4-0 or anything like that. But Fernandes, if Man United do score, Fernandes will be involved. I don't think it's a bad shout, to be honest, but I'm going Salah. Petter, by Vardy, Mane and Rafinha for Calvert-Lewin, De Bruyne, Grealish. Again, I'm not sure about that. Getting rid of De Bruyne and Grealish. Vardy might not even start. Mane's good and Rafinha's decent enough. I'm not sure about that. For anyone looking to bring Vardy in, I'd really be careful. I don't know if he's going to get benched, but he got benched the same time last year, and he's got this problem where he's hardly played any Europa League games. I would have, if he was fit and he could play 2 games in quick succession, I would have definitely considered going for Kane instead of going for Vardy instead of Kane, but yeah, I just don't think he starts this week. So that's what will put me off. Budget mid for De Bruyne to Kane, Neto, Saka, Martinelli. Oh, I probably prefer Neto to the Arsenal boys, but Arsenal have got a good run, so Saka maybe. I'm just not sure if what Martinelli's minutes are going to be like. Victor, back again on wildcard. I have Vardy, but I'm scared now. Firmino's okay. I mean, there's a 1-week punt. Firmino against Newcastle is fine if you're just going to get Vardy next week. Or Kane if you can afford it. That's the 2 I would look at. Maybe Martial, potentially. Theodore, thank you. Gary, bench Calvert-Lewin, Cancelo or Grealish. Not Grealish, so probably Cancelo or Calvert-Lewin. It depends. Do you think City are getting a clean sheet or do you think they're not? I think there's a good chance of a City clean sheet. I'm a bit worried about Calvert-Lewin this week, and Cancelo's so good, and he should play again. So he looks decent to me. I have Calvert-Lewin, De Bruyne, and Chilwell that I don't like. What transfer? Well, the transfer's up to you. I don't want to suggest transfers to people. Like, obviously, it's your team. You can manage it. All I would say is, like, don't feel like you have to force these players out. De Bruyne, Chilwell, Calvert-Lewin, they don't have to be forced out of your team. Like, if there was no double game week, I would have probably kept Watkins and De Bruyne, to be honest. IWTBF, Robertson and Grealish to James and Son. Robertson, no. What? No. Reece James not guaranteed to play. If that's for a hit as well, to get rid of Grealish, I don't like it. Robertson's going to play against Newcastle. Good pick. Diaz, Cresswell, Cancelo, Taylor, pick 3. Well, Taylor has to play, I think. Then Cancelo, then Diaz or Cresswell. It just depends whether you want to hedge your bets on the clean sheet or not. I'd play Taylor, Cancelo, pick one of the other 2. If you think City get a clean sheet, just go Diaz. Don't worry about the double up. My transfers depend on Robertson versus De Bruyne this week. Currently on De Bruyne, I have no idea what to do in full panic mode. Well, there are a lot of people are in panic mode. Only 46 minutes. No, wait. Yeah, 46 minutes to go. No, that's wrong. Yeah, 46 minutes to go. Again, I don't think De Bruyne is a problem this week if you've got him. I don't look for That's what I've tried not to do, is look for a way to get rid of players. I kind of earmarked De Bruyne out this week weeks ago, so I kind of just went through it. I don't know if it's a good move or not. Parajack, thanks very much. De Bruyne, Brewster out for Son and Adams. I mean, if you have to play Brewster every week, I definitely prefer Son and Adams. 4-4-2 with Sufal, 3-4-3 with Wood. I would definitely play Wood. And Samudra, I have Robertson, Diaz, Sofal. Robertson, Diaz, Sofal, Balbuena, and James earmarked for double game in 19. Decent. I'm worried about James though. Will Frank risk him? What I would say is, you're on wildcard, aren't you? I guess. If you're on wildcard, I'd maybe risk it. If you can buy him later, I would just wait till closer to 19 to actually buy him. Otherwise, you could go. Who have you got? You could go for another City defender or a Spurs defender instead. Will Mahrez start today? Possibly. I would say there's a good chance, but again, I don't know for sure, of course. Salah, De Bruyne, Son, Bruno, Calvert-Lewin, and Bamford. Should I change? They all look good to me. Depends who you change them for. Path, Werner to start. I don't think Werner will start, but again, I don't know. Bringing Kane instead, giving Spurs good fixture run. I definitely prefer Kane to Werner right now. I'm not sure Werner's going to start, but again, no one can be 100%. Jonathan, thank you. Rafael, thank you very much. KDB, Rodrigo to Son, Bamford, -4. You've got Mo Vardy. Salah and Vardy, is that? I mean, Son and Bamford is better for me. I like Rodrigo, but I would definitely prefer to have Bamford. Best keeper duo for bench boosting on double game week. I think Pope, as Mark was saying last night, but Pope and Johnston rotate quite well. But McCarthy, Johnston are both good picks as well if you want to save some money. Obviously, Martinez is handy because a lot of people already own it. But if I was on a wild card, I wouldn't worry about it. Victor, it's just a thank you. Thank you very much. You're doing a great job. And do me a favour, try some proper Remy Martin or JD Ginger Ale tonight. I've got Disaronno and beer. That's your lot. That's what I'm having tonight. Thank you very much. By the way, there's a lot of people watching already. If you haven't already, please do give the stream a like if you're enjoying it. Hit subscribe if you're new around here as well. Triple captain for Bamford in game week 19. I think if you're not going to go Salah, I think Bamford, Mane, Fernandes are the other ones you look at. So yeah, potentially could be good. Gail, thank you very much. Yeah, I think Bamford's like the hipster choice for captain. I think in game week 19. Am I planning on Kane to Vardy before the double game week? Not necessarily. Basically, in game week 17, I'm probably, this is the current plan, going to do Forster to Johnston. And then in game week 19, I'm going to do Mitchell to Balbuena. And then I've got a choice. I can take a hit for a -4, and I can either do Reguilon to Reece James or Kane to Vardy. The only reason I'd probably go Reguilon to Reece James is because it keeps the structure, and I'd probably get rid of Kane or Vardy, whoever I own, before game week 20 or 21 anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily be keeping them long term. If I decided to get Vardy in and risk him over De Bruyne for game week 20 to 24, then I might take a hit and get Vardy in for the double. But if Vardy can't play these two games in quick succession, can he definitely play the ones in the double? I'm not 100% sure, although in the double, I'll take these off. In the double, he will have had a big break beforehand, so it might be a little bit easier for him. So I'm not... Kane to Vardy I've not ruled out, but it's not currently the plan, but it might be. Stephen, how's it going? Walker Peters, Sotek and Calvert-Lewin, which one do I bench? I'd probably bench Walker Peters, to be honest. I'd just play the attackers. I got to be honest, right? I'm very much in two minds about Calvert-Lewin. I'm not quite sure myself what to do. Usually I like to play the attackers, but you know what it's like. It's Man City very good. They're not going to have Rodriguez. They're not going to have Richarlison. I don't think it's the worst time to bench Calvert-Lewin, but I wouldn't necessarily do it for someone like Kyle Walker-Peters. In the double, the break is bigger. Yeah, but it's only like a day bigger, right? So he's just played... So he played on the 26th, now he's playing on the 28th. So he's got, barely 2 days rest. And in the double, it's the 16th and then again on the 19th. So yeah, he gets a little bit extra rest. And he would have had a big break before, so he might be a bit better. Alex, thank you very much for the member, the Atsu member. Let's see where I am at. Saka or Bowen? I still prefer Bowen. I mean, especially if you want to build for the double. I still think Bowen plays. I think getting hooked at halftime, I think it was in the last game, is not going to keep happening. So I think I still prefer Bowen. If you need someone for game week 18 though, Saka. Why'd you go Kane over Son? Doesn't Son give an easier route back to De Bruyne? Without boring you too much with my strategy, even if I went Son to De Bruyne, if I want to, De Bruyne to Son, even if I went De Bruyne to Son, if I still want to bench boost, it still takes a hit to get De Bruyne back. So whether I got Son or Kane, it still takes a hit. Because even though I could have done De Bruyne to Son for free, I would have still wanted rid of Watkins for a double game week player. So I just took the hit now. And again, it doesn't mean it was the right decision, but that's how I'm kind of playing game week 18 and 19. Thomas, Chelsea in the know says, back four of Azpilicueta, Zuma, Rudiger, Emerson. Yeah, Cho starts, Werner and Pulisic and Tammy bench. Wow. I think confident Villa will do well. Oh, coughing a bit there. Yeah, I think Villa will do all right as well. Why does the music not play? Why can you not hear the music? Maybe you don't want to. I don't think Chelsea will do awful, but I do think Villa will do well, like you say. Play Diaz or Chilwell. Diaz, I think. Playing Robert and Dallas. Yeah, I played Diaz, I think. Jonathan played 2. Ward-Prowse, Sofao, Calvert-Lewin and Rafinha. Rafinha, only 2. Probably Ward-Prowse, I guess. If Calvert-Lewin starts, I would bet on Calvert-Lewin outscoring him. Downgrade Grealish or Calvert-Lewin to bring in Kane for Werner. Please suggest a replacement player too. I mean, it's up to you, Calvert-Lewin. Again, are you building for the double game week or not? I'd rather. I don't really like getting rid of either, but I'd rather keep Grealish than Calvert-Lewin, I think. So then you've got Rodrigo, Chris Wood, Adams up front, Antonio if he's fit, but he's probably not. Do I keep Mahrez in case he plays or get Rafinha? I mean, that's up to you. It's entirely up to you. Like, Mahrez might start, and if he does, it's a good fixture, I'd say. There's no guarantee, even though he's missed the last 3. But you surely even City are going to rotate some players. Free transfer, Ward-Prowse for Maddison. Like, is that bringing Maddison in? If so, you could do that. But I also think Maddison, like Vardy, is at risk of the benching today. Just to consider. Diaz and Lamptey to Robertson and Kyle Walker-Peters for a hit. I don't know why you'd get rid of Diaz for a hit, to be honest. If you've got no other defenders who you can play, then maybe. But I would just play someone else instead of Lamptey, I think. Bank transfer Wilson to Wood and so far on the bench. It depends. If you want Wood long term, I would just make the move now. If you don't, just play Soufal. A lot of benching questions. For most people, if you include Calvert-Lewin, I'd probably play him. That's just me. Abraham in for Calvert-Lewin. There's no guarantee Abraham starts. Watkins gets a hat-trick against Chelsea. Yeah, probably. Did I like Mark's wildcard? I thought they were all pretty good, to be honest. I didn't really have much of an issue with any of them. I think considering you're building for a bench boost, it makes sense to triple on Leeds. Don't think it's a bad decision at all. I mean, the fact that Rodrigo came off before 60 minutes is a little bit frustrating, but maybe that'll keep happening, but I don't think it's fine. Why is nobody mentioning Grealish has 2 more games to play in comparison with Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, true, but we don't know when they are, and you can always bring him in, can't you? Like, no one's going to... After game week... I'm telling you, after the double, anyone that's got rid of Grealish will be looking to bring him back in. They've got good fixtures. They know there's doubles at some point. Grealish should be back in. He's a 90-minute man as well. So's Calvert-Lewin, to be fair. Neither were on penalties. But, yeah, I just think Grealish is so good. But you're not going to get a double for Villa, unlikely anyway, between now and game week 20 anyway. And people can just bring him in. So, yeah, there you go. It's a little. I think the double's a little bit of a factor, but I don't think it's a massive one. Noah planned Watkins to Rodrigo a few weeks ago. Watkins did well this week, so should I do it? If it's for the double gaming, I still don't think it's a bad move. One thing to consider with Watkins is it's 3 tough fixtures now. So Villa could do well, and he could be on the score sheet, but you've got some... Rodrigo's got good enough fixtures as well, especially with the double. Obviously, it's up to you, though. Samudra, I'm not wildcarding, lost it in Game Week 5 like you, but still plan for transfers to make a bench boost in 19. It's my first year playing FPL. Good luck. Yeah, I think the one thing I will say about the wildcard is try not to panic too much if you don't have it. One thing, wildcarders are having an absolute nightmare. I think if they could wildcard, if there was no need for the free hit in 18, if there was no blanks, then wildcarders would be loving life right now. But I think they're struggling a bit because they've got to still worry about the blank, plan for a game week in three weeks' time. Also worry about Kane and Son. How much do they hurt their team to get a bench boost out? So wildcarders aren't having the most fantastic time, I would say, right now. But they do have the advantage that, like for me now, to build for the bench boost, my next 2 transfers will be on bench boost players. Not ideal, especially if injuries come up, whereas wildcarders don't have that problem. But I don't think it's as big as an advantage as people were making out at the start of the season. But obviously, it's always good to have it in your back pocket. But I won't worry too much if you used it already. Aniket, De Bruyne to Bruno. I like that, yeah. I like that. I think Bruno's next 2 fixtures are better. I think right now you can't say that De Bruyne is a better option than Bruno. I do like De Bruyne to Bruno. It's quite a luxury move this week, I would say. But I do like it. Salah or Fernandes, captains, kind of answered on the screen. I'm going Salah. Paul, thanks very much for the Atsu tier member. Hope you have a great game week. You too. Who do you think will get more points in the double game week? Souček or Rafinha? I think it'll be Rafinha, but I don't think it'll be by much. I think it'll be really close. And like if prices are an issue, I think going for Souček is no problem. Tommy, De Bruyne and Brewster to Kane and Souček for a -4. I mean, if you're benching Brewster and Souček, it's De Bruyne to Kane for a -4. I don't know if that's worth it, to be honest. If you're going to do it anyway at some point, maybe you just do it now, but I don't think that's massively needed. Please do give the stream a like if you have been enjoying it. We're close to 1,000 already. We've still got 34 minutes until the deadline. Obviously, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. We do this every single game week. Loads more content throughout the rest of the season. Happy days. Hit that button. Job done. I think my voice is going, by the way. I can feel it already. It needs beer and mince pies. It needs beers and mince pies. I'm liking that the template is splitting up different chip strategies, creating different teams. Yeah, absolutely. Although a lot of people you're going to see from are going to free hit an 18, and yeah, just got a very similar team for 19. So I fancy Brewster to start this week. Thinking of bringing him in to bench Calvert-Lewin. I don't know. Again, maybe. I mean, I would see what Neil's put on Scout. He's put Brewster in. And Neil's usually pretty good for team news. But, on the other hand, it's Sheffield United. So, you know, pluses and minuses. He might play, but then he plays for Sheffield United. And he's never scored a Premier League goal. And he's playing Burnley. Like, if I had Taylor, I'd be extremely confident of a clean sheet this week. I don't think it's worth using a transfer to bring in Brewster to bench Calvert-Lewin for me. Unless Brewster is working towards game week 18 or 19 for you. But if you're free hitting an 18, then Brewster is just even less of a worry, I think. Even less of a worry. Okay, let me see where I am. Oh my god, I've missed so many. Wilson and Son out for Neto and Vardy. Nah, don't like that at all. Son out right now. Not sure about that. He's got a good fixture. 2 good fixtures. I mean, Fulham's going to be tough, but Leeds in particular is good. Watkins and De Bruyne out for Barnes and Kane. Barnes! Oh, that's Harvey Barnes. Okay, I thought it was Ashley Barnes. Not that necessarily makes it any better. I don't particularly like that. I'm not really a big fan of the Leicester options, to be honest. But obviously, if you want to go for it, go for it. Kane or Vardy instead of De Bruyne. Already have Son. Kane, just because I don't think Vardy will start this week, and Kane always starts. Salah or Son, captain. Salah for me. Bench Bowen, Sofao, Cancelo. Probably Sofao. Am I worried about Salah and Diaz rotation? Not worried. I mean, I'm not worried about Diaz at all because I don't own him, but I wouldn't be that worried if I had him. And the same for Salah. Start Dallas, Bellerin, or Ward-Prowse. Probably the attacker, Ward-Prowse. But that's 2 pretty good players you got there on the bench. But I'd probably start Ward-Prowse. De Bruyne to Son, Rashford or keep. Leaning towards Rashford. Yeah, Rashford's got that shoulder problem. Rashford's got the extra game over Son. Rashford's got Wilson and Villa. And Son's got Fulham, Leeds. Arguably, Man United's fixtures are no worse. And they're more attacking than Spurs are as well. And you get the double game week. So I don't think going Rashford instead of Son is a bad option. Just whether or not he's going to start. I think he will, but there is that shoulder problem Ollie talked about. Replace Calvert-Lewin or Wilson. I think Wilson. Best replacement under 7.5 that's not Bamford. Chris Wood, Adams, Rodrigo. They're the players you're really looking at. Antonio's just not fit. I don't think there's anyone else. Let me have a quick look just to see if I'm missing anybody. Because off the top of my head, I can always forget these things. There's 31 minutes to go, by the way, so make sure you have your players lined up. Not Bamford, right? I'm clicking in the wrong place. 7.5 is not Bamford. Probably Adams. I think Adams, if you're building for the double, Adams or Wood. Maybe Rodrigo. Alpa, thanks very much. Samudra, we non-wildcarders can get out of Game Week 19 bench boost by using our wildcard in Game Week 24-25. Yeah, but so will they. They will also wildcard at the same time. But yeah, I guess the people who aren't bench boosted in 19 will have to put more money on the bench for a longer period of time, I guess. So potentially it's a bit better, but I think it's very minor. It's a very minor difference. Thinking of bringing in Rafinha and Souček for Grealish and Burke, you'll take. If yes, which one of them should I start this week? I would start Rafinha. Again, if you have to play Burke, then I'd maybe do it, but I wouldn't want to take out Grealish. What's your target rank now? You've started strong. We'll just say top 10k. If I get there soon, then maybe we'll reassess. But top 10k, I'd love to get top 5k for only the second time. That would be nice. But let's see. I think let's get through Game Week 19 with no wild card. Let's get through Game Week 20 with no Man City players as it stands, and then see where we are. Philip, should I bring in Dallas for Mings for a -4? Not if you've got another defender you can play instead. I don't think I would do that. Start Calvert-Lewin or Souček. I mean, I'm in the same predicament, and currently I'm starting Calvert-Lewin. Just because I think he probably will start. Kartik, thank you. Martial and Rashford in for De Bruyne and Bobby Reed. I mean, that seems like a massive upgrade as long as they both start. So I quite like it. Would I take a -12 to fix a team for the double? I would try and avoid it. Again, it depends who you're taking in and out, but I'd try and avoid that. I'll have to come back to these in a minute. There is so many, it's insane. Paul, Cancelo and Kilman out for Sofar and Balbuena and prep for a bench boost in Game Week 19. Plan is next week, De Bruyne and Bruce for Vardy and Souček. The 1 free chance Game Week 19 to 13 double players. It sounds good, but I wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of Cancelo this week. So could you not just make... Oh, you can't do Kilman though. Yeah, I see the struggle. If you've got the money to do Kilman to Balbuena, I would just do that. I wouldn't want to get rid of Cancelo this week, I don't think. I think I'd really try and avoid that. Watch out for Ben Rama for the double. I don't think he's a trap, but is he guaranteed to start? That's the problem. Thiago Silva is a nailed-on Chelsea defender. The problem with Thiago Silva is he can't play games in quick succession. Like, I don't think he's going to start today, and I think you'll have the same worries in the double game week. So, yeah, not sure I'd go there. Chris, finally broken into top 1 million. Congrats. Is top 50k still doable? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did any journalist reply to me about the Calvert-Lewin thing? I don't think so. But I can have a quick look. Lots of people ask me questions. A lot of people did say that Everton are second in the league. It's a good point. It's a good point. Like, even though it's going to be a tough game for them, possibly not going to be dropped. And also, who do they play? Tosin? Or Tosin? I don't see it. I just don't see it. So I think he'll start. Whether or not he's a good option is a different question altogether. But I think I'm going to start him. It could be the week where I possibly regret not starting Souček instead. But I like just sticking to the way I play. And this is me. I'm also very happy that Reguilon came off last night, by the way. I'm really hoping he starts. Could be real good. Can't decide between playing Souček or Sofar. I would definitely play Souček. Yeah, Sofar didn't look dangerous at all in the last game, by the way. Not saying that will continue because he has looked dangerous, but rubbish against Brighton. Like West Ham were in general. But I'd definitely play the attacker. Macho, Main, Martinez or McCarthy. Is it to play this week? In which case I would go McCarthy. Prakesh, Cresswell, Souček, Rodrigo for Leeds. Is there another Rodrigo? Welbeck, play 2 and bench 2. I would play Rodrigo and... Who have Brighton got? I feel like I can't remember. Brighton have got someone away, I think. No, someone at home. They got Arsenal at home, of course. Arsenal at home. I'd probably play Rodrigo and Souček. Welbeck, though, against his old club. Not Cresswell. So Rodrigo and Souček are Welbeck. Possibly just about Souček, but I think Welbeck against his old club, that would tempt me. Should I play Dallas or Kyle Walker-Peters? I'd definitely play Dallas, I think, against West Brom. Corey, thoughts on your team? Sanchez from Brighton, nice. Cancelo, Dallas, decent. Bednarak, good. Rafinha, yeah. Yeah, good. I think you're benching the right players as well. Yeah, Martinez got Chelsea. Martinez, Balbuena, Son, Calvert-Lewin, good for bench boost. Yeah, I wouldn't particularly worry about having to use single game week players in the bench boost. The ideal is double game week players, but if you've not got a wildcard, I don't think it's the end of the world. Samuja, thanks very much for your messages. Javier, thank you. Senor Sarcasm. Oh man, you got to put full names in. I guess that's Sterling, Watkins, Grealish to Rafinha, Son, Kane. Not feeling it, to be honest. I think Sterling could be good today. Could be good if Spurs learn how to attack again, but I wouldn't be super hopeful. I quite like the players you got. I know double Villa against Chelsea doesn't seem great, but taking out Sterling doesn't seem great either. Will Sterling start though? I don't know. I think there's a chance he does. Take a -4 from Mahrez, Brewster to Bamford, Zaha. I'm not sure about Zaha, but if you don't think Mahrez starts, that could be good. If you're not having to play Brewster, though, there is a chance that Mahrez starts. You could save yourself -4. Captain Kane, he loves this time of year. I'm not bothered about what time of year he loves, to be honest, like making decisions. I just think Spurs haven't been great. The Fulham defence is overrated. I think it has improved, but yeah, it probably isn't as good as we're making out. Salah seemed very out of sorts in the last game. Yeah, but West Brom frustrated them. Jose's mad. He might be mad, but he's also going to be mad if they lose. I don't know. If you want to captain him, go for it. It's a good fixture. If you want to play the fixtures, it's as good as any to go for. But I'm going to go for Salah. Let's just pretend Salah loves December too. Choose two between Cresswell, Souček, Grealish and Ward-Prowse. Grealish and Souček. Job done. KDB and Lamptey. I can't keep up. I cannot keep up. There's only 24 minutes to go as well. I'll get back to them in just a second. Okay, that's a weird message. There's lots of start one, bench one questions. Is Jose London Derby stats real enough to stay away from Son and Kane captain? I wouldn't worry about London stats. They're all based on... Most of those stats are going to be based on London teams that aren't Fulham, right? So I wouldn't particularly worry about it. My team value is tanked. It doesn't matter, does it? You've spent that money on good players you want. Look, wildcarders will probably do fine. They'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I kept the wildcard. Better take a hit for the double game week or use the wildcard. I mean, if you're talking about first wildcard, you should absolutely use it. Feels busier than the opening game week. There's not as many people watching, but there's still a lot. There's over 6,000 people watching. So thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button and that like button. Why not? Bellerin for an injured Vestergaard. I mean, Arsenal's fixtures are okay. I want to see more from Arsenal. Could I see Brighton scoring against them? I think I could. But the fixtures are there, and they play in game week 18 if you need that as well. So that is one thing to consider. If I have 9 players for game week 18, should I free hit in game week 19? What I would say, right, for anyone that's... I've seen this question quite a bit, is how many players are enough for game week 18? The question you should be asking for is which players do I feel like I need to have in game week 18? Like, because if I said to you 7 players is enough, and then you've got like Bolly, Bellerin, I don't know, Neto, Sigurdsson, or just random players. That's not the same as having De Bruyne, Kane, Son, Grealish, Cancelo, Spurs defenders. So it's not about how many. I mean, it is to a certain extent. Like 7 or 8 is probably a good number, but it's about which 7 or 8 you've got, rather than just having 7 or 8. The real question is Antonio fit? Might be back. It'd be good if he was. Imagine if he is fit though. Imagine if he's fit and smashed it in a double game week and I can't get him because I've stuck myself with Kane. Be a nightmare, wouldn't it? All this time and then Antonio ends up being the best captain. That's the real... In fact, forget the hipster move for Bamford. The real hipster move in game week 19 is captain Antonio. If you think his hamstrings can keep up. Let me see what questions I've got here. I can't remember. The problem with stopping, I can't remember where I last got to. De Bruyne and Lamptey to Son and Robertson. De Bruyne and Lamptey to Son and Robertson. Or Grealish, De Bruyne and Lamptey to Robertson, Souček and Mane for a -4. If you want to lose Grealish, I do quite like the second one. Because you get a Mane double up. And you get Robertson still and you got Souček. I quite like that. If you don't want to lose... It all depends on whether you want to lose Grealish, how much money you got tied up. I do like the second one, but I think the first one's fine. De Bruyne, 2 free transfers. De Bruyne to Neto or Podence. Calvert-Lewin to Kane. I would go Neto out of Neto and Podence. And yet Calvert-Lewin to Kane. If you want Kane in for free, go for it. Bring in Souček or Rafinha. I feel like Rafinha is the better option. Since he started playing 90 minutes, his points per match are not much worse than Souček over the season. And I just think with the double game week they've got and how attacking he is not too much difference in their attacking threat, to be honest, between Rafinha and Souček in terms of goals. But he's got a bit more creativity. I do fancy Rafinha, but Souček's a 90-minute man week in, week out. And he's cheaper. So I guess think about how much money you got to spend as well. But I just about prefer Rafinha. Captain Bamford, go for it if you want to. Goes on penalties now. But West Brom did just make it really tough for Liverpool, so could make it tough for Leeds. Jatin, thank you. West Brom to play more open versus Leeds, Captain Bamford. I don't see him playing that much more open. I mean, they did kind of play a bit in the second half, so maybe they'll try the same. Keep it tight in the first half, then open up a bit in the second. Bamford's a good option. I don't know if he's the best captain, though. Zaha and Grealish out for Souček and Son. Or should I wait and do some transfers next week? Will be for free this week or next. I don't mind getting rid of Zaha. Again, I wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of Grealish. If you're going to get rid of Grealish anyway, then yeah, do the move this week. Yash, Calvert-Lewin out for Wood without Hammers and Digne. I think Calvert-Lewin's fixtures after game week 19 aren't bad, really. Like, he plays Leicester, Newcastle, Leeds. And Newcastle and Leeds are great fixtures, and then it's Man United, Fulham. So Man United's not great, and maybe Leicester's not fantastic, but they're not bad fixtures for Calvert-Lewin. If you want a double gaming player, Wood is better, but I wouldn't do it just on the basis of the fixtures after 19. Wilson out for Wood or Basuma out for Rafinha. Probably Basuma to Rafinha, I think. But again, it's going to depend on who you want for the double. How many more hits do you plan until game week 19? I could do it with none, but I might take one more. Johnson or Martinez and Podence a shout over Calvert-Lewin. If you've got Podence, I'd potentially play him. Well, he's playing Man United, though, isn't he? Yeah, it's potentially better than Calvert-Lewin against City. This week, I'd probably play Johnston instead of Martinez. First time playing forward about, not sure about it. Justin, Diaz, Dallas, and Cole Peters. Would you bench one for Souček? Yeah, I'd probably bench one for Souček. Probably Kyle Walker-Peters, I think. Firmino or Kane before moving to Vardy next week. Kane, Yanks, thank you very much. Eric, Adams or Wood, and Dallas or Taylor. Do I mean to play this week? Dallas and Chris Wood probably. FIFA blogger, Rafinha and Rashford or Souček and Son, both for -4. I think Rafinha and Rashford is probably slightly better long term, as long as Rashford plays this week. Views on Mahrez, yeah, everyone's asking me about Mahrez. I don't know if he's going to start. I think there's a good chance he does, but I've been saying that for weeks. Rodrigo or Bamford and take a hit. I think Bamford's such a good long-term option. I'd be tempted to take the hit, to be honest. Views on Maddison, could get benched. I don't really fancy him. He goes on these runs and then just nothing. So yeah, don't fancy Maddison at all. I do think Bamford for a hit is probably better long-term than Rodrigo. Mahrez may or may not start. I think there's a good chance he does. Bench Calvert-Lewin, Watkins, Neto or Grealish. Probably Calvert-Lewin. De Bruyne and Watkins to Rashford and Son and Firmino for -4. Again, like those moves can backfire, but if you want rid of him anyway, then go for it. Again, Rashford, if he starts this game, he's got an extra game over Son, could outscore him in the long run, especially if you don't want to make that extra transfer down the line to do Son to Rashford. Son or Rashford, just answer that basically. Free hit in 18, bench boost in 19. Yeah, again, Rashford's got the extra game, but if you think Fulham and Leeds are better games, Son could still outscore him, and Son's got a good fixture in 19, so you'd have to weigh that up. Pep mentioned De Bruyne's minutes will be managed. Don't think he did. So he's taking him out for Salah and Mane double-up. Salah Mane double-up's good, but he didn't. He basically taught that De Bruyne wouldn't be rested. He literally said that. He's too important. He's been rested in the Champions League. Minutes might be managed, but Ademi's going to be rotated. I would bench Justin probably and play Calvert-Lewin. There's only 16 minutes until the deadline. So make sure you're aware of that, basically. I need to triple check that I've got everything locked in. I think I'm playing Calvert-Lewin. I don't know if I'm completely happy about it, but I am. Against Man City. That means tonight I've got no players in Crystal Palace Leicester. I've got Grealish and Martinez against Chelsea, and I've got Calvert-Lewin against Man City. Yeah, my week is not starting tonight, that's for sure. Do I plan on replacing Forster and Mitchell for Game Week 19? Yeah, probably Balbuena and Johnston. I would play Adams out of those three, I think. Start Taylor against Sheffield United or Calvert-Lewin against Man City. I know. I feel like Taylor's probably the right choice, but I pretty much would always play the attacker. I don't know. I'm so stuck on Calvert-Lewin. I feel like I should just play Souček and be done. I mean, in the last 4 weeks, I bet actually, if I check, I bet Souček's been doing just as good as Calvert-Lewin. Maybe? Let me see. Maybe if his stats are better over the last 4. Maybe I'll go for it. No Rodriguez. No Richarlison. Play Souček. Play Calvert-Lewin. They can't. I don't think they're going to rest Calvert-Lewin. But just how many chances is he going to get against that City team? My thinking is probably not too many. Like Sigurdsson is going to have to play. Calvert-Lewin and Souček both had 6 shots in the box over the last 4 weeks. Calvert-Lewin more big chances though. Yeah, more big chances for a big old Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bench him. I never usually would. It's not a move that I would usually make. Justin for Mitchell, -4 to bench Sofao. A -4 just to bench Sofao? No way. And who's to say that Justin's not one of the ones rotated? West Ham or Burnley defender, Balbuena versus Loughton. I think that depends a lot on whether you have to play them before the double. If not, Balbuena's got a better double. If you do, Loughton's got better fixtures before the double. Chintan, Gaming 19, I have to choose 2 out of Mane, Rashford, Vardy. If Rashford is chosen, I'll be able to afford Robertson 2, else I'll have to go with Reece James. Yeah, this is one of those questions where you just have to think about your own team. It's hard for me to kind of like visualise or picture what the team will look like with or without both. Like it's basically Rashford and Robertson or Mane and Reece James. I don't think there's a lot in that, to be honest. I don't think the only thing with Reece James now is his injury concerns. Is he a big worry now or not? It's the only thing to worry about. I do like Robertson. Like I'd love to have him for the double, but it's probably not the end of the world if you got Reece James instead. Rafinha or Adams to start. I do wonder if the Southampton game will just be more open and that will benefit him. But I'd probably play Rafinha, I think. Souček has the form and the fixture. It's him. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the form in terms of how many points they've scored. Like same amount of shots, more big chances of Calvert-Lewin. If he gets that big chance against City, would he convert it? Potentially. It'd be nice for him to do it as well when everyone's starting to sell him. Do I prefer Vardy, Bamford and Che Adams with no pool defender or Robertson in defence and Tammy, Chris Wood, Bamford and Adams? I think I prefer Vardy. I think I prefer Vardy. Kepa apparently starts tonight. Really? Kepa? The thing is, that German, Italian, Spanish flag could have just been Jorginho and Kepa. Wow, shouldn't have sold Watkins. Is he really going to start? Mendy can't need a rest, surely. Surely not. Who's saying that? Who is saying that? The first game, the Chelsea game's not till like 6 or something. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I don't see anything like that, but maybe he does. Maybe you got better contacts than me. I mean, I don't have any contacts, so. Manan, how's it going? Thank you very much. I have Son and Calvert-Lewin right now. After Tottenham's good fixtures, not sure whether to go Vardy, Rafinha, or Rodrigo Mane. I have no value tied in Calvert-Lewin. Nice. I think I prefer Vardy, Rafinha. But both are good options. But right now, I'd probably say Vardy and Rafinha. Let's see in Gameweek 19. Che Adams or Neto to start. Che Adams, I think, for me. Last week, Che Adams was like the man, and now everyone's thinking about benching him. You guys have got way too good of squads if you're considering this. Kepa, Bruno captain easily again. I've got nothing. I've stopped not considering Fernandes, but I do think Salah's the best option for me. I would start Taylor this week, I think. Yeah, I would definitely start Taylor. PM mad. GG on the stream. What are your future plans for Rafinha post double game week? To be honest, thanks very much for that. My plan is to. I've just got a message on my watch. Oh, you can't see it. It says, relax reminder, your stress seems high at the moment. My plan, basically in Game Week 20, if I want De Bruyne back, which I probably do, Then I'd have to take out Kane. And I'd have to take out one of Rafinha or Souček. And whichever one I don't take out, I'd be playing every week. I'm basically probably going to switch to 3-5-2. Not ideal. And a lot of it depends on De Bruyne. But because I'll have put the extra money on my goalkeeper and my defender, that's basically what I'm going to have to resort to. Which I'm not completely happy about because I do think there's so many good cheap strikers. But that's probably what I'm going to do. And I'm probably just going to start playing Rafinha every week, to be honest. 10 minutes to go. Yes, it is. Business Cat and Adams letting us know. Make sure you hit that like button. I was going to... Actually, no. Make sure you get decisions locked in. Then hit that like and subscribe button. Fantasy Foodie, thank you. Miles, Bench Winner, Cancelo, Diaz, Bednarak, DCL. Bednarak for me. Oh, Bednarak for me. I know it seems like counterintuitive to play your Man City defenders against Calvert-Lewin, but I always just play the best options. So for me, Cancelo and Diaz are both better than Bednarak. Or whoever it was. Yeah. And Calvert-Lewin's also better than Bednarak. So I just played them all. You could go for the high ceiling move of bench and Calvert-Lewin because he plays your defenders. But that can backfire. I don't like that. Captain De Bruyne or Son. I'd captain Son this. I do think De Bruyne will do well. So I probably shouldn't have sold him. Probably Son. Flag tweet implied 2 each. They only have 2 to Espanyol. Damn. Kepa though. Come on, do you just want to give Aston Villa the game? Do you really want to give Aston Villa the game? Oh yeah, it's the Cup this week. One of the most uninteresting parts of FPL. Chips, curry sauce, or mushy peas? Do you only get one? Like, if I pick curry sauce, I don't get the chips. That don't make any sense. Or are you saying with chips, curry sauce, or mushy peas? I mean, I don't know. I do like curry sauce. I don't know if I necessarily want it like my fish and chips though. De Bruyne to Son for a -4. Depends who the other move is. I don't think I'd necessarily do it for a hit, to be honest. If you've already made a move and now you're still considering whether you want Son or De Bruyne, I'd probably just keep De Bruyne and do the move next week instead. Brian, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Salah or Son? Salah, 100%. Given Frank's lost 3 in a row, no way he plays Kepa. Exactly. Sure, that would be so weird. That would be so weird if that happened. I should do... I know we've only got 8 minutes left. I'm going to do a quick shout out to all the people on Patreon because there are a few new people. So if you haven't signed up, there is a link in the description below. There was a Q&A out this morning, early team reveal last night when I made my moves and all that good stuff. Everyone that signs up goes on the Legends Wall. Thank you to Alex H. Okichukwu, I've definitely ballsed that up. I'm sorry, message me, tell me how to pronounce that properly. E, and then Dan M. Thank you very much to everyone that's signed up on Patreon. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the description below. Meslier to Martinez for Game Week 18/19 have 2 free transfers. Is that Meslier in for Martinez? If so, don't mind it, to be honest. Yeah, double game week. Good fixture this week. Son or Salah, captain Salah. Cresswell versus Souček, start Souček. Diaz, bench first 2. Bench 2. I guess that is. I would definitely play Reguilon. I would play Diaz, Dallas, Reguilon, I think. You got a good defence, though. You got a good defence. I'm really hoping Reguilon starts. If he does, I think my defence is looking quite good this week. Again, I'm quite happy with the team this week. It's not ideal, but it's pretty good. I'm probably not as confident with a 100-pointer as I was last week. I only got 60 in the end, but with a captain blank, not the end of the world. Where am I from? I'm from England. We're from England. You got 7 minutes to the deadline. 7 minutes to lock in those decisions, lock in that captaincy, lock in those transfers, and get it done. Job done. I'm going to check for the millionth time. There we go. Bench so far, Struik. I'd probably bench so far. I just think Leeds against West Brom's a good fixture. They could concede. They should have conceded against Burnley, but West Brom haven't got a lot going forward. I just feel like this is a good time to play a Leeds defender. If Dallas gets another return, it'll be absolutely mad. If Dallas gets a return this week, that's 8 times in 12 game weeks since I've had him in. Absolutely mad. The Christmas decorations down? Nah, they won't be down until January sometime. Probably, I don't know, probably the weekend after New Year's Day. 2nd or 3rd, maybe. Triple Leeds against West Brom's risky. hardly risky, I think. I get it, because everyone now thinks West Brom are this really hard team to target. Maybe they are, but I would hardly say it's risky. Fish, chips, curry sauce, banging. Curry sauce, though, I don't know. I think for my chips, I might rather have gravy. But like decent gravy, like KFC gravy, something like that. Is there a way of seeing previous season's finishes? Yeah, click on Game Week History. Where are my Man United players? Maguire legend. I've got Fernandes. In. I'd love Maguire, but just no room for it at the moment. Maguire for the double, that'd be great. I could get Maguire. Instead of Reguilon to Reece James, maybe I'll do Reguilon to Maguire for the double. Maybe. Why is Salah captain? Because Salah's amazing and Newcastle are rubbish. Matip to Robertson. I mean, if you can afford that, that's like seems like an absolute no-brainer. Matip is not 100% out, by the way, but even if he's not, he'll be out soon. Declan, how's it going? Last minute decision, captain Bruno or Salah? Salah. I'm still on Salah, so I'm still going to say that. I mean, my captaincy is always on screen, so I'm always going to stick with what I got on screen. I do think Fernandes is a good option this week, but Salah for me. Surely with the fixtures, Martinez needs to go. That's a goalkeeper transfer. I'm not worried about it. I don't want to spend transfers on changing my goalie. Reguilon to Maguire. Not this week, of course, but for the double maybe. But Reguilon has Sheffield United, so... Reguilon, my boy. Remember that stream where I wildcarded and I was like so... Not annoyed, but afterwards I was like panicking. Oh, should I really got rid of Sice? Then look what's happened to Sice. I mean, he was back and did score against Spurs, but like going Reguilon over Sice was such a good move in the end. That's the fine margins. Here's another fine margin for you, which I spoke about on the Team News stream. I realised we're 3 minutes away from deadline. I'm now talking rubbish, but so be it. Oh, thanks very much. In Game Week 5, or before Game Week 5 when I wildcarded, I bought Mopé and Ayling, right, from Leeds in for a hit. And because De Bruyne got injured, I then decided to get Son. That would have been a -8, so I decided to wildcard instead. And when I wildcarded, I switched Ayling to Dallas. So I bought Ayling in for a hit, and I switched Ayling to Dallas on my wildcard. And since then, Ayling's done like nothing basically. And Dallas just keeps scoring points for fun. Like, since Game Week 5, Ayling's had 1, 2, 3, 4 returns, and Ayling's had 7, I think. Something like that. Which has been much better. Anyway, there you go. Some useless info for you 2 minutes before the deadline. Let's see, what have we got? What questions have we got we've not had? Is Sufan first teamer? Yes. Son captain if you wanna. Captain Kane or Son? Okay, that's more interesting. If I had both, I would captain Kane, I think. If I had a City defender, would I start Souček over Calvert-Lewin? Not necessarily, no. Again, it's like I said earlier, you could hedge your bets and go for the ceiling play, or you could just go for whoever you think is best. If you think Calvert-Lewin is better than Souček, I would just ignore the fact you have a City defender. Play Calvert-Lewin or Souček again. Answers on screen. I'm playing Calvert-Lewin instead of Souček. Bench Justin or Zuma. Justin against Palace. I wouldn't want to bench Zuma, but I do think he's got the tougher fixture. So I'd probably bench Justin, but I think he's got the better fixture. If you were to take Grealish out, what like-for-like replacement would you replace him with? 2 million overside. I mean, that's tough to think about when I've not given it any thought. I mean, if I could afford Son, I'd probably just go straight to Son or Rashford, someone like that. My team, I wouldn't go down. I'd just go up, I think. Maybe a punt on Pulisic, but that might be a punt too far at the moment. 1 minute until the deadline. Get your captaincy and your transfers locked in. Get them locked in. Locked in. Chelsea have 3 Spanish players, not 2. Azpilicueta, Alonso and Kepa. Maybe that second Spanish player hinted at Alonso. But what about the Italian flag then? Is that Jorginho instead of Emerson? Interesting. Anyway, it's not going to matter in a minute. Don't worry about it now. I'm locked in. Salah's my captain. Kane Vice. I'm not even sure about Kane Vice. I feel like it should probably be Fernandes, given the form. But then do I want my new boy captain? It probably should be Fernandes, shouldn't it? I'm just not sure about Kane. I'm going to leave vice captain on Kane. Hope Salah starts, so it doesn't matter. Souček first bench. Sofal second. I think Sofal versus Dallas. I think I've got to play Dallas against West Brom. That's the supposed deadline. Let's see if we are locked in. We are not locked in yet. By the way, the Let's Talk FPL League is second. The second best league so far. So if you haven't already joined, make sure you do. League code at the top. You might have to do it after the deadline now. What time is it where you are? 1:30. Deadline time. And we are not locked in. We are not locked in. Joel Matip has a grade 3 groin strain, which is a severe tear of the muscle. Will be out of action for 3 to 4 months. Wow, that's come from a Twitter account I don't know, but if Matip is out for 3 to 4 months, that's insane. Liverpool are going to have to buy his centre back in January. That's mad if he's out for 3 to 4 months. It's not still locked, by the way. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. 3 to 4 months. So you've literally got no fit centre-backs now, apart from like Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. I mean, Fabinho's a really good centre-back, by the way. He's been playing really well, but yeah, that is not good. That is madness. They're going to have to buy someone in January. Who will they go and get? I wonder if they'll go for Vestergaard. Who knows? Okay, so, oh man, this is all coming in too late. Marcus Rashford and Victor Lindelof are both doubts for Wolves, according to James Ducker of The Telegraph. So that was the thing I was saying earlier about bringing in Rashford if that shoulder problem gives him an issue. They might have to. Yeah, they might have to buy 2 centre backs. We're officially locked in. We're officially locked in. Thank you very much to everyone that has watched this morning. Absolute mad stream. One of the busiest we've had since the start of the season. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of the day now. I'm not gonna do much today. I'm gonna drink beer tonight. Happy days. Go from there. Connor Cody to Liverpool. Maybe. Chris Smalling. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Lindelof was flagged and so was Rashford, but yeah, Lindelof probably not such a big issue as Rashford, to be honest. So there we go. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already, right? It really does help out. It's been an absolutely... I'm so tired, I'm stretching. It's been an absolutely mad season, and you guys have... a mad season, mad year. You guys have really helped out on the channel. It's I've basically... Let's Talk FPL this year has doubled the views versus 2019. So 5.2 million views in 2019. Oh... Fan team. I didn't change it. Salah's captain again. 2019 was 5.2 million views. 2020 is 10.4 million and counting still. So big thank you to everyone that's tuned in so far this year. Obviously still going to be back before New Year and for the rest of the season, but I checked that this morning. It was awesome. So thank you very much. All that liking and subscribing, I know I bang on about it, but it does really help. And hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you do have a good Game Week 16. I'll be back on Wednesday for videos ahead of Game Week 17. There'll be a deadline stream on New Year's bloody day because they've moved the deadline from the 2nd to the 1st. So I'm going to be hungover for that. I think the deadline is like at 4:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, let me see. It's 4 o'clock. So the deadline stream on New Year's Day will start at 3 o'clock. And obviously I'll have all the normal stuff before then. Am I going to watch all the games today? Probably, yeah, most of them. Okay, there we go. Leaving it there. Thank you. Why not get verified? I don't know how you get verified. I'll do it at some point, maybe. Thanks very much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Good luck this week, and I will catch you